Hi guys, welcome to the part 5 of Only Elevators tutorial series. And in this tutorial, in the fourth tutorial, I promised you that I will convert this logic into a class blueprint, and uh, so that uh, so that this logic will be a reusable one. But before that, I thought that I should clean this up a little bit because it's just a bit of yeah, it's bit of messy in the level blueprint. So if you are making a game, there will be more code or more logics inside your level blueprint, not only the elevator thing. So we have to do some cleanup. So it will be a good practice for your video game development. And I always found that making things organized and keeping things clean from the start will be a good practice when you are a developer, and it will make things easy for you to find and make things sort things out and find some bugs. And yeah, it's good for everything. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and let's go to the class blueprinting in next tutorial. So yeah, let's get started. So you can see that in event begin play, we have to define the flows. We are doing this in here because we don't use any instance editable. This instance editable property is not working for level blueprints. That is why we are doing this step inside the blueprint graph. So yeah, if I yeah if you know about functions, we can collapse this to a function. So what do you need to know about functions? Functions really don't uh, yeah functions can keep. Function is like a container, and it can contain nodes, logics and stuff. But the thing is, we can't use any time related or time dependent nodes inside functions. And especially if you are having this kind of timeline function, it can't be stored in a function because it doesn't work, right? So uh, that is the thing you need to know mainly about the functions. And you can also give inputs and outputs to functions. So you know that we can create some custom events. If you can remember, we have created this move elevator function, and it can be reused in here, like that. But the thing is, you can give inputs, right? If you select the custom event node, you can see that in the details panel there are inputs, right? You can if you press if you click on this plus icon, you can see that we can give some inputs, and then this input will be on the calling function as well. But the thing is, you don't see any output section. But if you create a function, I'll show you. If you create a function, you can see that there's this section called outputs as well. So if you click on this plus icon, you will see that there is this uh, return node appeared, and you can have this return node with function nodes. But it's not like for it is not the case with the custom event. So custom event is like a function but without this return node or outputs. And custom events can store timeline and time dependent nodes, unlike functions. So those are the main differences. And yeah, we are going to delete this function. um, and I'm going to select all of these nodes, right click. You can find this collapsed function in organization category. You can click on collapse to function, and it collapse our code to a new function. And if you double click, or you can go here, you can see that in the functions library, now it is a function called as new function. So we can rename it. And if you double click, you can get into the function and see that our code is in there. So yeah, now what I have to do is, if you get any other flows, you just have to get into this function and add some pins and add those references to these pins, right? So it is that easy, and it is contained, and yeah, it will be really easy, and it doesn't take much space inside this main graph. So that is the purpose. And to rename this, I am going to uh, put a prefix. um, you can define any prefix based on your mechanic. So I'm going to set a prefix as capital ENL to indicate that this function is related to elevator logic. So yeah, and this is for the elevator, and what it does is um, add flow add flow actor references, right? Add, or we can also use some store. Yeah, store flow actor references, right? So it's basically what this node is doing is what this function doing is basically gets all the references of the nodes and make it as an array and save it as an array, right? So that is basically uh, doing that, and you can basically just click on it, and you can see that it has this category called default, and I can give it a category. And to organize different logics, I am going to call this as elevate. Now, now I know this function is related to the elevator logic, right? So it's that easy, and I can do that for these variables as well. So if you can see, we are kind of using all these variables. So I just have to go to the category section here after clicking any variable related to elevator, and just rename it as elevator. And you can see that similar to functions, you can see that there is this category called elevator. Now I can drag and drop these variables into this elevator category. Now, yeah, it's organized, right? It's really clean. We have these flows, next flow, current flow, kind of thing there, right? And then what can I do is, so yeah, let's see. Okay, now you can see that uh, if I consider these actor begin overlap and end begin overlap trigger box event functions, uh, the code is same, right? Uh, it gets player character and check if the other actor which is overlapping is equal to the current player character, and if it's true, tick this or check this or uncheck this, right? So it's basically the same thing, but the thing is it has this input from this node called other actor, and this node this node checks this variable and this unchecks this variable. So that is the main difference. So that we can basically collapse these into a function, and I'm going to select these nodes, right click, collapse to a function, and you can see that it will automatically connect it to a input like this. So it this function needs this other at the input to correctly work, right? So that is the idea. So you can see that, right? This is the look we get inside this function after we created this function or collapse this logic to a function. Now what you can do is you can basically rename this a input to other actor, and if not, you can rename it as overlapping actor, so it makes sense. And since functions are a container, uh, you can do this. You can find this overlapping actor variable, even though overlapping actor is not a variable in this list, but the overlapping actor is inside of this function. You can basically right click and find uh, overlapping actor. You can see that this overlapping actor variable can be found in this in this list. So I can get it, and instead of connecting these two pins, I can just get it here and connect this in here. So it will yeah, it's really a cool thing to have when you are organizing things. And we also know that this tick is a variable, right? So in the end overlap it will be unchecked, and in begin overlap it will be checked. So I'm going to add another input and ask that is in elevator, right? Is in elevator inside that, and you can just give f in front of the variable name, because we do have another variable with the same name. Therefore now I can find is in elevator. Now you can see that there's this f is in the elevator variable that is related to this function input. Now I can get it and assign it to here, right? Now what this function does is it gets two inputs and it asks uh, what is the overlapping actor, and should we check this is in elevator condition, or should we uncheck this elevator condition. If you go back to event graph, you can see that there's this in elevator, so I should check this, and basically I don't need these. I just have to get a copy of this function and connect this like that, and just untick here. Now it's yeah, it's much it is not taking much space, and it's really easy to uh, work with. And yeah, cool. Now we have to give this a name, and I'm going to rename it as EL, and give it this EL, and let's give it this name. What's the suitable one? Hmm, um, trigger box overlapping events, right? It sets, right? It set trigger box overlapping events, right? So it basically sets events for the set trigger box. This does not make sense. Set trigger box overlapping events. Mm, yeah, it will be a good name. Yeah, I think it gets. Yeah. Okay, now we have to drag and drop this function into elevator category as well. And if you think the EL prefix is not necessary for this function, you can just remove it because we have this category. But I prefer if it has it there, because if I'm not uh, looking at here, and if you find this node function node in here, and if you see that, okay, I can identify this has this el in front of this node, so it belongs to elevate. So that's the idea. And we do have these two functions, and let's go here, and you can see that basically, yeah, what can we find as common? So uh, yeah, we don't need these two to be a one function. We can also make two functions, so it is not a big deal because it has these differences between the conditions and the operators for those. And yeah, I'll just um, select those, right click, and select collapse to function node. Now it collapsed to function, and now I can say um, el, and q means it goes upwards. So ascent, ascent, elevate, right? So it basically ascends the elevate, and I can just select this, right click, collapse to function, and give it descent, elevate. So what does uh, when I am renaming each of these functions, you just have to uh, add a verb in front of it so that we know what this does, right? So yeah, E is elevate, it descends elevate, and it ascends elevate. Now we can just drag and drop these functions into this elevator category as well. Now it's it's gaining a good space, and you can see that we can't actually yeah, we can't actually um, move this into a function because of this timeline node. You can try it, and it doesn't really work. So yeah, one thing I can do is I can just yeah, you can see that if I take here, if I take a look at here and look at here, these are equal. Only changes the if it's a current flow or the next flow. So you just have to right click, select, and right click, collapse to function, and call it as get at the location. uh, just put el, and no, I'm not going to put el there because it will be inside another function of elevate, so that's perfectly fine. So get flow at the location, get flow or get flow elevation, get flow z value. Yeah, that is much better. And I can go inside this function and give this input a name called elevator index. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, flow index. It should be flow index. What we are getting is flow index, and I just have to find that flow index, and you can get it like that. You just have to plug it in here. All right, and it basically gets this at the location and filter out um yeah, okay. And if I rename this return value, you can put it like z value, and it basically gives the height. Or we can yeah, just put height or elevation maybe. You can put whatever the name you are familiar with and you are comfortable with. And you can see that we get this warning, and it says that get flow z value is was prone because it's executable. So it says that you can see that it has this warning, and it says that okay, this needs an execution because it's a function. But if you uh, know that, we can select this get c flow value, and there is this PO option. So if you call this PO, and it basically doesn't need any z value, it basically need an input and output, and it just don't need any execution, because you can see that the function execution pin comes and goes out to the return node. We are basically getting some values. We don't need any execution, or we don't need any code to be executed. So that is why we can convert this into a PO node. And yeah, so it's basically real cool. And I can just replace these with this node and just remove this current flow and connect next flow instead of that. And also what we can do is you can see that one thing, we have this location x and y, but the thing is it is manually entered. If you move our elevator xyz, if you move our elevator mesh, and you can see that if I mm, let me see, if I select our elevator, and you can see that our location has this xy values that I have put here. So if I change its location in x or y axis, there's a little problem. If I keep it like this in here, so to avoid that, I'm going to get a copy of this reference of this elevator, and I just get actor location and just breaks this out and give this xy values. Now it keeps xy values of the current mesh and updates only the z value, so it's really good for the logic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you can say, yeah, what we can do is get flow z value is here, and I can mm, 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 mm. I can do this. I can do it like this. We can just move this here, and you can see that we just need an alpha value. Uh, we just need an alpha value here. You can get these reroute nodes by double clicking on a wire. It's very simple if you didn't know about it. And you can see that these are not time dependent. This is the one only uh, works with the time. These nodes are basically executed with time, so these are not dependable on time. Therefore we can basically get this here and select this, and we can just collapse these to a function. And I can tell that el update elevator height or elevation. Right now, you know that with this value inside, this alpha value inside, now elevator updates its location with this timeline. So that is basically it. And then I can basically connect this into here, so it makes sense. Or if you want, you can convert this into a function as well. And yeah, let's convert this. It's all about organizing and make it clean to understand well. El update uh, after elevation is completed. So we are going to update these values after the elevation is completed. So that is basically it. And I can basically get this into this elevator, and yeah, it's pretty much uh, organized here. And also you can see that I can basically right click and collapse these two collapse nodes. There is this function, there is this option called collapse nodes. So you can basically collapse your nodes if you can't put it into a function. And we can call it move elevate. Sorry, I just have to go inside, and I can just delete this and connect this into here. Right, this is the input, and you can see if I collapse node, we can get outputs as well. And this is the play from start, and I can rename it as move elevate move, or I can just keep it exe, so it basically executes. and yeah, it says this they can't find this move elevate function because we have collapsed this into a different function. So that I am going to rename this as move elevator. If you compile and you can basically cut and go inside, you can basically connect this here, right? All right. And then move elevator, and then go to the other one. You can see, can connect it. Now you can see that we are just replacing. We are just getting copies. You can see that it can't have the same name, and I can tell that this is a descent one, and this is the ascent one. So now I basically have this cleaned up logic, and it's really good, right? It's really good, and you can organize in a different way. You have, now how these options work. You can categorize parameters and functions, and you can make functions. Now you can see that these have this collapsed nodes, and yeah, there's a little bit of problem because if I do that, our function has this time node. I'm really sorry. So if I play, you can see that this doesn't work because this has the timeline node and it is inside of a function. Therefore, we need to actually cut and paste uh, this collapse node into the main level blueprint, and we just have to do is we have to get a return node and connect this here, and you can just cut it here and paste there, and also find this return node here. Now the thing is, if you get this return node, you just have to, okay, so no, I don't need to do this. I just can keep it here, and if I get this return node, I just have to connect this here, and also I can connect this here. If I have this return node in here, get a return node, connect this. Now, yeah, now it should work. Let's see. Cool, it's really working. Now you can now you have your functions, and now you can clearly see that pressing Q and E, it has different pre-logics to move elevator, and it goes to the same after that. So it is really clear, and you can go inside and do some um, work there. You can just ignore this output node, or you just can connect this here if you want to do something after that. And since I don't have to do anything after that, you can keep it like that. And yeah, this is the optimized organized one, and I can just, if I get any other logics here into the level blueprint, there will be more functions after this elevate function, So I'll just keep event begin play here, and these are only since these are only related to the elevator function, I can just I can just select all this and press C on your keyboard to comment, to add a comment. So you can basically add a color like this to see your comment box clearly from the sorry see your notes clearly from the comment box, and you can basically keep this color saved. You can see that our saved color for the folder, and this is the saved color for the comment box. And you can even rename this comment. This is comment. You can see that this is comment, and this is folder, right? Now you can reuse it whenever you need to have a main folder or a main comment, and you just have to put this is the elevator logic, right? Now you have very clean uh, elevator logic, and you just have to get this a comment, and you just have to get the saved color, and I say that initiate or prep work for elevator, right? Now it seems really organized, and you can find things easily. Yeah, that's really about it. About cleaning, organizing, how to do stuff, and now you can collapse this, and yeah, this is how you work with level blueprint. And I think in this tutorial, in these past tutorials, apart from the part one, you have learned more about level blueprints if you haven't worked with, and level blueprints can pretty useful. As I said, if you have this one elevator, and if you don't need many elevators, and if you just don't need any reusability, you can just use this level blueprint to make this logic happen, and it just works fine. And level blueprint has many uses, even if it can't be created and it can't be reused. So it's kind of level specific things, as I said, level specific, one and only things. So it will be really easy to place it in here. But if you need a reusable elevator, we will move on to the next tutorial, and let's see how we can do this by using class blueprints. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And we have officially we officially have a elevator system, simple elevator system, but yeah, it's really good. And we will also be working with UI as well, but maybe I can. Okay, let's look at it later. We can make this like if you go inside the elevator, it shows Q and E controls in HUD, showing that notifying that player that you can press Q or E to ascend or descend in this elevator. And yeah, we can do that as well. We will first create this class blueprint and place the logic, and then let's see how we can do that UI thing inside level blueprint and class blueprint as well. And you will have this practice with both very well. and you will see the differences between level blueprint and class blueprint, and how to make things happen if you want to things in those two clearly. So yeah, then let's repeat it, guy. And if you think I am supporting you, and this is really detailed for you, and you can buy me a coffee. You can support me through buy me a coffee, and I'm really doing this because I'm a self learner, and we don't have any courses, institutes uh, in here to learn game development or Unreal Engine. And when I'm a self learner, I was looking at these tutorials, and no one is talking about uh, these things really clearly. So I have to go for many tutorials to learn one thing. And yeah, so that is basically it, because I am doing this tutorial course. So yeah, that's about it. So that is why I am doing this to support any developers who are struggling with Unreal Engine and understanding, because Unreal Engine has this vision to uh, Unreal Engine is doing this blueprint system and user friendly system, so that so that any artist can work with Unreal Engine and use simple logics to do some great things. So that's why Unreal Engine should be easy to understand for everyone, so that we should have some tutorials, proper tutorials covering all things up, and showing the workflow, showing all the optimizations, cleaning stuff, and showing uh, what are those differences, what are the different methods of doing the same thing. So that is the purpose of doing this tutorial series, and I'm going to uh, do the same for future videos as well. So yeah, thank you. Let's meet in part 6. Thank you, guys.